Folks, welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange. And today is July 9th, 2025, halfway through the year. Shall we start talking about Christmas? No, we'll keep that away. We'll save that till fall. However, that said, we are a business network, and you know what? You're more than welcome to come on in and check out the space. In fact, I'm going to share a screen and show you how to do that, how to get into the space. It's pbx.ca, so the letter pbenx.ca will get you in. And we'll start off member of the week, Josh Lamb. And if you don't know who Josh is, he provides IT support, everything from your standalone computer to your entire fleet of network switches and computers. So it doesn't matter whether you're small, medium, or larger business, he can provide that support and the tech in there. Click on the red Josh eCard component here or the video feed here, and he provides great services. So Monday mornings, we have a version of this. That's the Bell's Corners edition, and 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday morning, obviously today, 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. And Thursday morning, same deal. And then we have an after hours group. That was yesterday. Oops, I missed that one. Sorry, Tony. Between hunger and other things. However, it's all about accountability. So Penny Lee is probably going to chase after me and put me in a headlock later on. No, just kidding. Penny wouldn't do that. It's about maintaining accountability to the projects you want to get done, whether it's personal or business. East Trade Winds. We are meeting next week, next Tuesday. We meet every Tuesday. And in fact, Tony was there yesterday. Tuning in with Tony, free meditation class, July 11th, 1:30 p.m. Get all kind of feng shui in your life and mellow. From home. And meanwhile, if you also want to, you can get a sound bath event, and that's on July 30th at 7 p.m. that Tony is hosting. Reawaken Your Radiance Retreat, that's an in-person event out in Wakefield from 10 to 4 on July 19th. Penny Lee's got dancing is dance and movement is medicine with Nia classes, and that's about moving your body around, just keeping your joints kind of lubricated and your system. See, hold your flex. And as you age, you'll understand that if you're 20-something, you probably don't know that yet, but if you're an athlete, you'd work things up. There is a potluck that's afoot, also July 11th at 6:30 p.m. at Penny Lee's. Not a Zoom event either. South End is meeting July 24th at 7:30 a.m. Now you see the QR code that's over my shoulder. If we all have them, we all have a QR code, we all have a link, and that is the directory. So if you see someone talking today and go, hey, I want to know more about that, well, click that and you will have that entire link, the entire directory of people. What does it do for you? Well, these are like business cards, but they're electronic. So your phone number or whatever information that the member has, email, website, the whole 9 yards, plus some videos, much like Josh Lamb's one up on top. So you get a real sense of what's going on with that person. Canada Food Covered is charity of choice. There's a golf tournament, and Mike is doing a special talk on that, so I will leave that alone for now. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 2,092 people have used the e-card links, and that's very handy. Again, it's just showing traction. So if you're a member of Phoenix, you get an e-card. Right, over $4.9 million worth of business since 2016. Which brings me to another thing. The referrals year to date are 129, almost $130,000. Now, this being the top of July, send your stats to Tony so we can give an indication of what's going on with those numbers. I'm going to stop talking because Mr. Tony Ginnis is going to do the educational component next. Tony, over to you, sir.
Okay, well, thank you, Bernie. One thing I've been seeing over the last several months is that there's so many ads on how to make more money, how to increase your business, how to bring in an income, how to do it in a sense that what we're lacking is more contacts. And I don't know, that's really backwards, because when you look at the income that you're bringing in, this makes sense to a person like Eric Senego, because he's looking at income, the money that you're bringing in. But in reality, that's the outcome. Income is what you have inside. Outcome is the validation or the acceptance that money can come to you. So what is income? Income is self-worth, self-validation, self-esteem, anything to do with the self. Okay, so when as soon as we know what our worth is, we know we don't want to sell for less than a certain point. There's a reason why some coaches are $50 and some are $1,000 an hour, because they both get it. But it's all about, am I good enough? Am I worth $1,000 an hour? Then a person will say, not really. No, I'm only worth maybe $19.50. And that's what you'll get. So it's not about how you think. If you always look at how you price things, and I caught myself the other day, I was developing a new class, and I says, this is an awesome class, and I'm comparing it to many other classes. And some are selling it for $400, $500, $600 for the class. And I'm thinking that I don't know if people have the money to do the 600, so I'll go 300. And right away, Spirit said, why are you doing that? If people are getting 600 and you're thinking you're getting 300, that means you're only worth 300. Do you think you're worth 300? Do you think you're as good as the rest of them? And when you ask a question like that, yeah, I absolutely think I am as good, in some cases better. Then why are you pricing it that you only think that you're worth this? Because that's how they're perceiving it. Because I think they don't have the money. But look at the backwards of it. If you know, I saw another commercial on a brand new wheelchair that can actually climb stairs. This is amazing. This is a wheelchair. They know how people that are in wheelchairs, they can't go upstairs. They have to have ramps. Well, they've developed a wheelchair that when you go backwards, it can actually bring somebody upstairs, up a set of stairs, and then also down the stairs. And they can go about roughly 20 miles an hour. So that's a pretty good speed. For those that have no arms mobility, they look at it as they just have to lean forward or lean back to go backwards or forwards or slow down in something. And it's worth $40,000. Tell me, we probably don't have $40,000 lying around just, not doing anything. But if it's for your kid, I got the 40,000. Think about it. Would you get this if your child needs it? Of course you would. We all would, because we all care. We all want to do the best, but we don't have it. However, we see the value in it, and that makes it that's what we need, right? So when we look at self-value, self-worth, that's the inside work. So when we're looking at increasing our sales, don't look at the fact that, okay, how many more people do I need to come in? That's all outcome. The inner work is, I know I am attracted to many people. I have a lot to offer. If somebody comes to me for a brake job, they know they will get not only a good deal, but they'll get it done right. That's more important than the price. It is. Now, if you can get both, like you get with Sam, you got a golden opportunity. But the end result is safety. You want to make sure those tires go on and they're safe. They're not going to fly off in the middle of the highway, right? And we see that all the time in videos and so on. So when I go to somebody, I want to first know, first of all, if they can do the job. If they can do the job, that's great. Then the next thing is price. Price is always secondary. I know people say price is king, as long as it has a good price. But, I'm seeing a lot of things coming from Temu and all that, and it's so cheap, so crappy cheap. And I haven't bought anything yet. My new phone came with the Temu app, and I'm looking at the energy surrounding it, and Spirit just says, just delete it. Talking to a person last night, and they bought the glasses. Like, these are reading glasses that you can get in the store. I think they're about $20. Temu has it for $8 for 4 of them. So the price is really great. But when she got it in, she says, "Oh man, it's not that great a quality. What do you get for $2, right?" Because that's the income, that's the value. All right. And what does that mean to you? If somebody comes to Sam and says, like, I know you swap tires for whatever it is, $100 or $200 or whatever it is, and would you do it for $20? You're gonna. What do you do anyway? Nothing else is booked. But he said, no, I wouldn't do it for that because it takes me years and years of experience to figure out how to do it in a shortest amount of time. So you're not paying by the hour, you're paying because of the 10 years I've been doing this, right? So there's value there. So as soon as you start doing that, then clients come in and actually you do get what you do get. Coaches go through the same thing. You know, how many coaches are actually charging $500 an hour? There's a lot of them. And I just recently saw one that about 10 years ago in another group, they were charging $500 an hour, and they're still doing it. In other words, he's still coming up with enough people that says, yeah, it's a big price tag, but look what I get when I go to this person. In 1 hour, we cover more stuff than in 2 or 3 hours with somebody else. Why? Why do you think you cover more in a shorter amount of time and it's more expensive? Because they're good. Because they know what they're talking about. They can see right through the facade, and then just the way you speak, they could say, okay, I know what the problem is. It's your mindset. And then they go right to the problem. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying because somebody is just doing whatever they're doing. You're paying because they have a solution to your problem, and that has value. And that is the inside job. And how people pay is the outside job. Okay? So when income is coming to you, realize that's the outcome. You got to go inward to get the income. Back to you, Bernie.
Thank you, Tony. Here is the link to the LinkedIn Live post, so you can put your comments, your notes, advertise your business. It's going out there to everybody to see. And we're going to swing around and we're going to do little different conversations with folks saying, hey, who you're at, who you are, what you do, what are you offering, and any BAMs referrals, BAMs being business activity meetings between folks. I'm going to start off with Wendy and then hit on Eric. Wendy, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy and the Ottawa House and Condo Group. Tony, I love your education moment this morning talking about value. I recently agreed to co-list a house here in Ottawa for clients who are overseas. I was actually the agent who helped them buy it, and they wanted to include an individual whose wife is the best friend of one of the owners. And I struggled with, co-listing it because I know my style, and I'm very hands-on. But anyway, my experience unfortunately was exactly how I expected it to be. The other person did no work at all, and I still had to give up half of my commission. But I did everything over and beyond. In fact, this morning I went over to that house and I put out the recycle bins because nobody's there to do it, and the other person just doesn't respond. So again, your value is your value. Don't discount yourself because you know your worth. And definitely the clients will be finding you and want to work with you because they understand the value that you bring to the table. So all of us, it's all about service in this group. You may have a product to sell, but again, people want to work with people. So again, always put your value ahead of everything else, and you will attract the right people. I don't have any BAMs to report, but I do have ongoing business with Matt Ladard, with Brenda Lee. I'm always trying to find more stuff for you. Susan Ebbs, of course. Susan Ebbs, I'm always spreading the word and the power of Melaleuca because I absolutely believe in the products because I myself use them. And everybody wants a clean home. And, there's a lot of pride of ownership in a lot of people's hearts. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that. So thanks very much, everyone, and have a great week.
Thank you, Wendy. And quick promo here is if you know someone that does gift baskets, they can provide gift baskets. Let them get a hold of Brenda Lee, Eric, and then Brenda Lee or Penny Lee. Sorry, it's Penny Lee, not Brenda Lee for the gift baskets. I'm skipping a beat here. Eric, sorry, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Bernie. We're talking about experience. And a few years ago, I heard a story on one of the night talk shows about there was a problem in San Francisco with a building, and they were fixing the building, and they didn't know where some of the pipes were and some of the electricity was. So they start brainstorming, and someone excuse me, and someone says, let's find out who designed and built the building. So they check it, and they find out that it was built in the 1940s or 1950s, and the guy that designed it and the engineer was in a retirement home. So they they go to the retirement home, they get the guy, and the guy comes, and he walks up and down the stairs, and he taps here and taps there, and he says, drill there. And they drill there, and great enough, that's where they should have drilled. And then they said, send us to the invoice. So he sends the invoice, and he sends an invoice for, this, mileage, $50. Screwdriver, $25. Walking up and down the stairs, $25. The experience of 50 years to know where to knock on the door, that's $50,000. And I never forgot that story. I never forgot that story. I have no qualms about pricing my services when people come and say, how much does it cost? Because I always think about that person. We know where to knock. We know it because we have the experience and we have the knowledge. We don't know how to explain that sometimes, that we have the experience and we have the knowledge. And sometimes it may be a boring discussion talking about yourself, but it's what we all do. We sell our experience, or we sell our knowledge. What the first teacher I had in accounting after I left university, my first teacher was a senior partner in a large firm in Toronto. He told me, go see this client, and I go see the client, and I come back, and I took like 50 years of financial statements with me, and I went to this restaurant, and we discussed it with him, and I could not get across the client, and I kept talking to the client about how bright I was, and how I won the premiers this, and how I was the best guy in tax for the office, and the guy was just bored. So I come back to the office, and I tell that to my boss, and he opens his drawer, and he takes a bottle of aspirin out and puts it on the table, and he says, Eric, accountants, we are the aspirin for the headache that the client has. That's it. And that's what we are, the aspirin for what the client headaches is. 613-254-7310.
There's a line in there about the aspirin, but I'm going to leave it alone. Eric, that is a really good point, and you know what? Perfect. East Tradewinds. We have sessions every Tuesday. That is the link to register, and you can also save it into your calendar. Come when you can. Come as you can. And Brenda Lee, and then Sam. Go ahead, Brenda Lee.
Hi there. Thank you very much. Eric's a hard act to follow. My name is Brenda Lee, located just south of Limoges. I'm founder of the charity Earth Angel Outreach, and our focus is to help outreach individuals and groups that are self-funded or receive very little funding from any sources. I'm collecting right now. I'm collecting summer and spring, still spring, summer. We'll soon be moving into the fall clothing for the homeless. And last Sunday, I was invited to go on an outreach with the group. And there was actually 4 groups represented. There was myself, another group, 11%, another group, Meetings, it's a catering company, and one individual that does it on her own. So we started off just after lunch. We went and started at the Salvation Army downtown. Excuse me. We went west on George Street, went to Sussex, and turned left on Sussex, and we went up half of Rideau and up William Street. And in that, just that short period of time, we gave out 50 sandwiches, mac and cheese sandwich, sorry, mac and cheese with some protein in it, chicken, I believe. And then there was over 100 drinks. I made 9 dozen cookies and put little stickers on them. And there was like 2 bins of clothing, 2 wagons. So we had 5 people in 4 wagons in all that short period of time. There was pretty much everything was gone. So it was just a very moving experience, making connections, talking with people, community. Yeah, it was just, and we're going to try that more often. Every 2 weeks, go out and make a presence and join up with other people. So we're really, really trying to, make those connections with people in the streets. So, and we made the connections with people in the streets. So, and if anybody has any items to donate or contact me at 613-443-0811, 613-443-0811, and I will put the contact information in the chat. Other than that, it's all good.
Brenda, thank you so much. And great job. So, you can't make a meeting? Need a substitute? Well, I've got a guy. I know a guy. His name is Mike. And if Mike has an opening in that schedule, he does only one substitution at a time. And but reach out to him and he can be your sub so you get your message out there. Sam, what happened, man? And then Susan Epps.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. There's my contact information in the chat. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. I was going to talk about turbocharged engines, the proper care of them, but Tony reminded me of something that just happened the other day. Customer comes to me and says, I need brakes front and back in my vehicle. And I said, yeah, I can do that, and gave him a price. And then he came back to me and said, well, I'm going to buy the parts. So how much would you charge me to install them? And I said, well, I don't prefer to be doing that kind of stuff because I don't know where you got the parts from. But I gave him a price. I usually put on my receipt, customer supplied parts, just to cover my what. Anyway, he comes back to me and says, can you do it for $400? Front and back brakes. I said, no, no, I'm not going to do it for $400. Anyway, he says, well, I'll get somebody else. And I said, well, you better be careful because, brakes, you can get your car. If your engine stops, you can't go anywhere, but the brakes don't work, it's a good chance you're going to end up causing an accident. So I warned him that, going by price alone is a risky business, especially when it comes to brakes. And just the other day, I had a customer who came to me, said that they needed brakes done, came to me and said they needed the front brakes done. I took the car tires off, and sure enough, they needed front and back brakes done. And they replied to me, well, I just got my back brakes done not even 2 years ago. And I said, well, how many kilometers have you got? And she said 50,000 kilometers, around that. And I said, well, that's not normal. It should last about double that. She says, oh, yeah, one of my neighbors did it for me as a favor. But there's your problem. Anyway, I took them apart, and sure enough, they had pushed the brake pads into the caliper housing, jammed them in there real tight. That's not how you properly put in brake pads in a disc assembly. Jamming them in there just makes them tight, and of course they don't release from the rotor, and they wear down exactly how she did it, and lost basically half the wear of the proper brake job done. So exactly what you said there, Tony. You can go by price alone, but you can end up regretting that and maybe even it cause an accident. So be very careful when it comes to who you get to do the work on your car. Anyway, BAMS wise, Riel, I finally got him in contact with our son, and he's going to put one of those chat bots on my website, and we're going to test it out and see how it works. That's it for me, Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca, today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle, and a lot more.
Sam, thank you so much. And next quick tidbit, if you're halfway across Ottawa, and I'm thinking the Maitland area, there's a place to grab a bite. You can actually host a meeting in that space. It is at Hive. Susan, and then Matt. Susan, what's going on?
Good morning, everyone. I missed everyone. It's been so long. I ended up having putting my back out, so couldn't sit up, couldn't stand up, couldn't lie down. So that's why I couldn't make it to the meetings. So I'm on the mend and glad to be back. Susan Ebbs, I work with a company called belluca.com. And thank you, Wendy, for your testimonial there. Much appreciated. Cleaning products, it's always nice to have a clean house. When you have guests over unexpectedly, just run the Swiffer mop over. We have one of those. And the beauty of Melaleuca products are they're concentrated. So a little goes a long way. So you're saving money. And we do not have chemicals in our products. So you're also helping to save the environment. One product I'd like to showcase, my favorite, it's called Solumel. It comes in this nice big bottle. So like I said, a little goes a long way. So you put a little in the bottom of the spray bottle. There's the little, and the rest is water. Now, what's it good for? Well, it will kill ants. It will kill mosquitoes. It's good for wiping up those pet stains. Why? Oh, maybe you spill a little bit of wine on your July celebration, Canada Day celebrations. It'll take that up, just no problems. So again, melaleuca.com, excellent cleaning products for great price. Let's see. I have a BAM scheduled with Redmond. He was wanting to explore what we could do for him and his family. Norm placed an order with me. I've yet to get that to him, so that's on the agenda for this week. Excuse me. Ongoing business with Wendy and Penny Lee. And that's it for me today. Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much. And if you know someone that is involved in the home security business, cameras, monitoring, installation, again, I have them reach out to Penny Lee, and that there is a need for that. Matt, and then Mike. Matt, over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Matthew Ledard here from Arizona HVAC Services. I am a home comfort advisor for the company. We are a full service HVAC company that helps keep people comfortable in their homes, improving air quality and installing air conditioners, heat pumps, furnaces, and all that kind of good stuff. Right now, it is the busy time of the year with air conditioning systems, and we're at full tilt right now. We're booking out about 2.5 to 3 weeks out in advance. Most companies that are reputable right now are booking out that far. And so if you've kind of sat back a little bit and waited to get a new furnace or AC in, now's the time to get it in, get booked in so that you don't miss out and don't get it installed until the end of August or something. So, yeah, so if you or anybody you know is looking for any sort of comfort improvement in their home, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help out. I got my information in the chat section down here. So great way to contact me. Ongoing business with Wendy, and got some stuff going on with Bernie as well here. And then I was out to see Tony for the sound bathing session, which I had a great experience. My wife and I both had an amazing experience out there. We're actually talking about maybe booking personal meetings with you, Tony, instead of in the group. I think that would suit our fancy a little bit more moving forward in the future. So and I see you already booked up for the next one at the end of this month. So that's good for you. Congratulations. Good stuff. But an amazing experience. If you've never gone to do anything like that, I was always a little skeptical on some of these things, but I had an amazing experience. And there's the tuning forks that Tony uses, and just to get you into this whole your mindset. The way he starts out is just so relaxing, and then the tuning forks came out, and the way he explained things is that your eyes are the way things come out of your body, the bad stuff and whatnot. And I got very relaxed, and at the beginning of the session, and Tony started using the tuning forks to clear the bad energy out of the room. And it was really weird. After a few hits of the tuning forks, I was very relaxed, and he hit the tuning fork, and I had a tear drip out of one eye. Then he hit the tuning fork again, and I had another tear drip out of another eye. And about 5 times that he hit the tuning forks, each time I had simultaneously a tear drip out of one of my eyes, and it was just very weird and very interesting moment. So thank you again, Tony, for that. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Next quick item is the link for the golf charity tournament this September 4th. $88 a head gets you 9 holes and a cart and community. And all net proceeds go to the charity. Now, Mike is going to be doing a chat about this a bit more, but he's also a stand-in for Redmond. So Mike, or pseudo Redmond, speak away.
Great. Thank you, Bernie. Nice testimonial on that. Yeah, I like your education, Tony, on experience and price. I remember when I owned the collision shop for 30 years, when a guy comes in with 4 rims and can you sandblast these rims and paint them white for me, which is it's a loser job, but you do it because it's guys in the community. And I go, sure, $100. And he goes, I'll give you 80. And I said, no, I said $120. He said, no. He said, no, you said 100. I said, yeah, that's right.
100 it is.
Like,
I like that.
Yeah. No, I said 120. No, you said 100. I go, oh yeah, that's right. Anyway, speaking of experience, imagine what it takes to become a lawyer. People are like, oh, law, I want to get a lawyer, but there can be expensive, what have you. Well, Redmond Ryan is part of the Odette Gamba Lawyers Professional Corporation, and his firm works in family law. So imagine what you have to study and know just when it comes to family law, wills and estates. How much work is in there? How much do you need to know? Because these lawyers are doing this work, and it's got to be right up there because of possible errors which are not welcome at all. Real estate, dot the I's, cross the T's, research this and that. It takes a lot. Who learns that? What does it take to learn that? Personal injury law, all the variables and ramifications of that. Immigration law. This is something that I know a few lawyers do, and Redmond does it. His firm does it. Is immigration law. What does that take? How does that learn? So it's years and years and years and years of education and research and learning and what have you. No wonder they charge what they charge. Because if it was something simple or what have you, then you know what? Then there you go. So I agree with the experience you're talking about, Tony. What Redmond has is huge experience, and what's nice about a firm is if he doesn't know, one of his partners does. So a good referral for Redmond at this time of year. He's looking for family law clients who are in the process of separating or have separated and require legal assistance. Again, you could just imagine, the way, the hurt, the emotions, and then yet you still have to do that piece of business or what have you. It's quite a bit. So, and another good referral are estate clients who need a new will drafted or a power of attorney drafted and reviewed. That's very, very important when you get into that stage. So Odette Gamba, Lawyers Professional Corporation, he's protecting your rights. It's his priority.
Perfect. And the next quick item is LinkedIn and the Phoenix Business Exchange, Inc. First off, if you're not connected to it, please do so, and then invite people. It's a good way to share the business community in that space. Tony is going to represent the Mortgage Honey, and I'll have him explain that next.
Well, hi, I'm Jacqueline Richards. I just want you to take a nice deep breath in. Bring your shoulders up, take them back, breathe them down, drop them down. And let's hope that the Bank of Canada drops their rates again to bring in some good rates and be able to have people afford their homes so they could buy air conditioners and stuff. And if you're looking at getting a refinancing, if you have debt, whether it's credit card or whether it's different loans, rather than paying 5 or 6 or 7 different locations in terms of your money going in different places, you can look at getting refinanced so one payment does it all at a lower interest rate. It'll save you money, and this is what it's all about. So if you're looking at getting more money for your honey, I'm your gal.
You're looking mighty fine there, Jacqueline.
Yeah. I love her. She's awesome. The Tony Jennings from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. I've been on this venture for probably over 25 years. The last 15 years, I was aware of what I was doing. Now, there are things that make a lot more sense. When I was in the moving business, I used to move people in to a home, and I would just know that they would be divorced in 18 months. And when they called me and they were separating, I just thought I was lucky. So there was always something there, but time sort of makes it so that now we know where that was all coming from. We all have this ability, but some don't really go any further with it. But as soon as you dive closer into yourself, you start realizing the brilliance that you have. The saying goes, we aren't afraid of the darkness. We're afraid of our light brilliance more than because we don't believe that we are as powerful as we are. And we certainly are. That goes with one of the topics that I'll be doing this Friday at 1:30. I do an online, it's a Facebook Live thing that I do on my own site. And anybody can come in for that one. It's free. It's a live presentation. We're going to be talking about things behind your back. People talking behind your back, you talking about people behind their back, that kind of thing. And the energy around that, I think you're going to find it extremely interesting why some people do better as you talk behind their back. And we're going to explain why, So Tony Jennings from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits. As far as business goes, Susan McGarry, I went to her house recently and picked up some more product. We have a new member, Rael. He is a Rael Gunther. I hope I pronounced this right.
Gunnaratney.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you didn't trip over your tongue like I did. He's involved with apps as far as on your website. When you go onto your website, you can have a chat bot that can answer all your questions based on your website. I have it on my site, and I'm blown away. I asked it several complicated questions, and it answered it. Amazing. And I didn't realize, believe it or not, I have 600 pages on my website. I says, what? Oh, jeez. Oh boy, he says hardly anybody does more than 100. So anyway, it was great that. So I love this. This is actually going to really change my business in a sense that the things I can't get to, that can answer questions and things like that. I also did a BAM with Dwight and Nicole, and I sent some business to Redmond for a will. So that being said, there you go.
Thank you, Tony. So if you have any events that are coming up you want to share with the Phoenix family at large, whether you think it's something we might want to be interested in going to, like a trade show, or you have an event that's coming up, you're going to, sound bath, for example, the NEA classes, send us the information inside the calendar link, and we'll populate it out there. And for myself, Brain Transfer, Creative Insight, I connect people. I chat with people. Basically, if you think of a Venn diagram, you have your circle, you have your sphere of people that you know, And much as you can't know everybody, and so in our community right now, that's what we're doing between each other. We're introducing referrals, etc. I go a little bit further. I'm outside the box. I'm outside of the local area. So if you want to know some people in BC, there might be some resources out there, and hence the East Trade ones. Knack for Business podcast. Another good example. I've crossed paths with so many people. It's like a little mini MBA course. There's a little bit of information everywhere inside that space that can provide you with some information or some direction. And East Trade Wins, the people that presented this week, their YouTubes are already up and running. So that got taken care of yesterday. I'm going to stop because you know what? Mike has a story to tell. And Mike, the helm is yours, sir.
Great, thank you. Good morning, everybody, again. All right, so one of the things I want to talk about today is the golf event that's coming up, the Phoenix golf event. That's on Thursday, September the 4th. Just a little bit about that. Keep in mind, 9 holes. So for those that aren't golfing or do much golfing or whatever, it's perfect. It's about 2 hours. You get a power cart, great opportunity network, lots of fun, cocktails, this, that. You drive around. Even if you can't golf, and you don't have the ability for somebody like a champion, like let's say Wendy, it's still fun because you just get out there and you can play best ball. Everybody hits, you go to the best ball. It's all about getting out there and supporting Tony, the founder of the Phoenix Group, and the charity of choice this year. And $88 in cart. I mean, hey Wendy, that's almost free, right? When it comes to golf. And yeah, so that's a little bit about the golf. So what we were thinking about with the sponsorships last year, because last year the Phoenix Group gave to the Playing It Forward for Wishes, which I'm part of. You've heard it before, the volunteer group that we raised around almost 600,000 since 2014, and we dole it out to community organizations to do the good works that they do, and we all do it as volunteers, which is it's just a beautiful thing. And so I decided that through Playing It Forward for Wishes, and I got the permission from a meeting that we had, that we would help Tony this year because he helped us last year, which helped make a wish, is to combine some sponsorships. So anybody that knows a traditional sponsorship, oh, hey, I want to do a $500 sponsorship, you got to sign at a hole, you might get some mention at dinner, and maybe a thank you letter, and that's about it. When you combine the resources of the Phoenix sponsorship list along with the Playing It Forward for Wishes sponsorship list, it's a plethora of value, plethora of public recognition. And not only that, but the monies all go towards Tony's and Bernie's charity of choice this year, which is the Canada Food Cupboard. Which is a great organization. So this will be a real nice way to support them by coming in. And it's not only supporting, at the end of the day, and I'm going to tell this message to each group, whatever, it's not only supporting the Canada Food Cupboard, okay, but it's supporting Tony. I mean, we all know I don't have enough time in the day to list all the things that Tony does for us as members. I don't have time to list how much he cares for everybody like that. He just gives. This is a beautiful time to say, you know what? I'm going to do a sponsorship. Thank you, Tony. And you know what? People are going to be fed in Canada area that need food. I mean, win all the way around for a few bucks. And again, to reiterate, the plethora recognition is like outstanding. So let's just have a quick look here. Let's see if I can. I don't have the. Bernie, can you bring up the Phoenix site for me?
Stand by. You want me to go to the sponsorship page? I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, but yes. Well, first of all, so if you guys want to sponsor, this is how easy it is and how it works. Go ahead, Bernie. You go to the Phoenix site, you look under events, you see sponsorships, you scroll down, hit that. Okay, there it is, the combination plate there, Phoenix and playing it forward for wishes, combining their efforts today. So scroll down. We said to the Canada Food Cover, basically the agreement is between Phoenix and the playing it forward for wishes teams to combine their efforts for the greater good of the Canada Food Cupboard. Scroll down the value statement, what past traditional sponsorships is, as we kind of loosely talked about. The bonus here is with combined, you're going to get a lot more. So scroll down a little bit, playing it forward. So for instance, let's say playing it forward for wishes. We have two events each year, two golf events. The Enduro that Wendy actually played in this year. It can be 36 holes or 18 holes. And then the Family Fun Day where kids come out with their grandparents and brothers and sisters and parents and go around 9 holes, and we do a wish reveal there for Make-A-Wish because that event always goes towards Make-A-Wish. Anyway, we put whole sponsor signs up here. I think Wendy, you saw your sign that was up on the at the event that you played. So here's one from the Phoenix Business Exchange, Wish Pal sign. So that goes up for $250. We create a sign like that, and that goes at both of our events. Plus, uh, plus your logo goes on the Playing It Forward for Wishes website for 1 year. Okay, so anybody going through to see who's sponsored during the year, whatever, there's a plethora of individuals, businesses, and they click your logo or whatever, that hyperlinks right back to your business, right? So that gives you some more awareness. And at different levels, there's social media, there's what have you, but at a $250 basic level, entry level, you get the sign. That sign goes to two events plus your logo on our website for 1 calendar year. Can you scroll down, Bernie? So, and just come up a little bit more, please, and just show the, no, sorry, the other way. Sorry.
The other way, the other up.
Yeah, that keep going a little bit more, a little bit more,
Okay.
a little bit more. Okay, so and down a little bit so that we can just highlight the 250. That's it. Okay, so as I said, so this is entry level sponsorship. So from Playing It Forward for Wishes, I already told you what it's going to be. Two events, 1 year. And one of the events is already done, so it'll be the event in 2026, the Enduro, but there it is. And then also with the Phoenix then combined, you'll have that same sign that I create for you will be brought to their golf tournament and put on a hole. The golf cart GPS screen with your logo and a proper mention and a group mention on the Canada Food Cupboard website for 1 year too. A lot of value for $250, people. You know what I mean? You do this, you're going to do two things. We're going to feed people, and you're going to show Tony how much you care about him for all the stuff that he does for you. And scroll down. So you got $500, keep going, $1,000, keep going, Bernie, keep going. $2,500 level. I just landed, by the way, at $2,500 level for the Canada Food Cupboard, and then go down to 5,000. Okay. Okay. And then in this basically includes also a membership to the Phoenix for 1 year, plus, plus, plus. It's a ton of stuff. So go back to the $1,000 level, Bernie.
Elevator went up.
Yeah, perfect. So here's because I'm always thinking about community, like Brenda Lee, it's, community, community, community. And I thought, what can I do for Tony to help Canada Food Cupboards already way back before June? I said, I'm going to do a golf incentive. I said, I have $4,000. Anybody that brings in a foursome for that event, I will take back all that money and bring it back to the Phoenix Charity of Choice Canada Food Cupboard. So Wendy from Phoenix brings out a team of 4. She has lunch, she plays 18 holes, and she has dinner, and she goes home. Cost her $1,000 for the foursome. I'm taking that $1,000 that Wendy paid and had her nice day on the golf course. Hopefully it was a nice day for you, Wendy. And she teared up a couple of times just to let you know. She got very weepy like that because she's such a good golfer. But I take that $1,000 now that Wendy paid for and I give it back to Phoenix. So Wendy's sponsorship is already done. She's given $1,000 to the Canada Food Cupboard. And she will get mentioned and she will get her signage, and she will get all this, what's here, plus the golf, plus the lunch, plus the dinner. I mean, you don't hear that at golf tournaments for that level of money. So, you know what? Thank you, Wendy, for being one of the ones to take opportunity out of incentive. And hopefully next year we'll be able to do the same thing so people can get even more golf. Okay. So, yeah, I guess that's, oh yes, sorry. So go down to the bottom, Bernie. Keep going. And just go up a little bit, please. Okay, so it says it in a couple of places. Press click here. Can you press that? So here's how it works, folks. You look at the sponsorship list, you go, you know what? I want to do this. Why? Put food in somebody's mouth that's hungry. And thank Tony for all the stuff that he does for you. Press one of those levels. The details are this is that's fine. You don't have to do that, Bernie. Here's the levels that we explained, and basically the details are a little different here because this secure link goes right to the Metcalf Golf Course. That's where the Playing It Forward for Wishes is established and we work out of. So it goes into their bank account. As soon as you make, let's say, even a $250 thing, you press it, you put your credit card on it. The details are in the sponsorship of the Phoenix event that you just seen. I get notification. Hey, Eric wants to do a Wish Pal sponsorship or whatever. Thank you, Eric. Right away, I create the sign for Eric. I get it proofed by Eric. I put those at 2 of my events. His logo goes on my website for one calendar year, hyperlinking back to his business, plus what Tony and Bernie are going to do at their golf event. Right away, when Eric does that, I send that back to Tony. So Tony receives the $250 that Eric paid for. So 100% goes back. We charge nothing to do that because, again, we're about community. And that's as simple as it gets. So you can get out, stop sharing that. Okay, and I just want one more quick thing here, for instance. So this is the Playing It Forward for Wishes, our website. This is about the sponsorship. Thank you, like that. All different types of levels, of course, all the way down to the Wish Pal signs or whatever. You can see K4B, Clean Shield, Hire Sell, Taste of Sweet, and it's as simple as boom, Taste of Sweet, like that. You know, when it goes to Dwight's website, they can check it out or what have you. And again, that stays on for 1 calendar year, and plethora of public recognition. People ask too, oh, what about tax receipts? Eric will attest to this. CRA does not give tax receipts for people that do marketing. Well, you can get a letter of value, which means you cut your check, your credit card statement, and you put it towards this event. Thank you for sponsoring this event or whatever. And it's a marketing expense. It's 100% write-off. You will not get a tax receipt. The only way you get a tax receipt from CRA is somebody goes, hey, Mike, I don't want to play the golf tournament. I don't want nothing to do with it, but I want to give $100 just to don't put my name up or whatever like that. That person qualifies for a tax receipt, right, Eric? Yep. Okay, so that's it. Any questions? And what do you think about all the value? And what do you think about the opportunity of helping Tony and telling us how much we care about him? Isn't it cool?
Yeah, this is the first time that we did it this way, and I think having a double value, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what the impact will be. But yeah, like you said, Mike, it's a win-win for everybody. They're getting double the value in several different events. It's not just the golf event on September the 4th.
Well, we already too, before we even start, this is our first chapter meeting on this specific topic. And currently, right now, we're at $1,000 for a KFC from Canada Food Cupboard to because Playing It Forward for Wish is thanking Phoenix for their support last year to Make-A-Wish. That's $1,000 in the bank. Wendy's $1,000. Now we have $2,000 in the bank. And I landed at $2,500 sponsors We right now currently are standing at $4,500 for the Canada Food Cupboard from the Phoenix Business Exchange. And we're just starting. If everybody even did just a Wish Pal sign, we could get up to 10 grand.
Yeah.
How cool is that? And what would that mean to Tony?
No, it's more about the Canada Food Cupboard. That they would have the food. By the way, they're really low in food.
Tony. I don't want to take any like that. You do so much for us. This is our way of showing our love to you and our thanks by going, you know what, this is your, because the thing is the Phoenix Business Exchange is even trying to grow more. Instead of networking, putting people together, it's about community and making an impact in the community. That's who we are. That's who Phoenix is. So, you know what? We have a great opportunity to do that. Enough said?
Yep. Okay.
Mike, when it shows up on the on your other event for playing it forward, what's the market reach? What's the market reach you guys have? So this is like, the Venn diagram was talking about earlier. So you're sharing the reach of our business that help sponsor. What type of numbers or what type of reach or what areas are you? What markets you penetrating?
You know what? I mean, we do our social media, all this or whatever, but you remind me, Bernie, to introduce you to my Bernie, my communications guy, to get that because I don't have a good answer for that. When it comes to social media, like Facebook, for instance, I can spell Facebook, but that's as far as that's about as far as I.
This is my face, and it's in a book.
Yeah.
So I'll get that to you. I'm going to introduce you on a text, Bernie, to my Bernie.
Sure.
Bernie Charlevoix, who Tony knows.
And Bernie's awesome. Yeah.
And I think some of the members, because he's on our Playing It Forward for Wishes committee and he does our communications.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay.
Okay, so it's as simple as looking at the sponsorship, click, put out your credit card, pick a thing, we'll take care of the rest. It takes 5 minutes.
And for a closing quote for the day, one way to keep momentum going is to have constantly greater goals. Mike Corda.
That's for sure.